Look, let me tell you something straight. If you're watching this video, you've probably been tracking silver, or maybe you've heard the whispers. Maybe you're holding silver in your portfolio, waiting for it to explode, waiting for that sweet moment when it finally breaks free from the chains of uncertainty. But here's the thing, if you don't know where the critical support levels are right now, you're at risk of being caught completely off guard. And I'm not talking about some random market fluctuation. I'm talking about real hard truths that could change the entire game. Silver's recovery has been slow, and that slow grind is about to hit a breaking point. Right now, $75 is the critical support level. You're either watching it or you're about to lose your chance to capitalize on what could be the biggest opportunity of the decade. You've seen it before, right? Silver's been bouncing between a high and a low, and you've been waiting for that sweet spot. You've heard the analysts, you've seen the price predictions, but none of that matters if you don't understand why this $75 mark is more important than you think. This isn't just another financial number. This is the difference between securing your future and getting left behind. You think you're the only one watching? Think again. The big players, the ones who really move the market, they're all eyeing this number. And if silver doesn't hold above $75, we might be looking at a whole new ball game. But here's the thing. This isn't about if silver hits $75. It's about what happens next. See, right now, there are two paths for silver. One of them is a path to recovery. The other, it's a free fall. And that's the part that nobody's really talking about. The world economy is volatile. Inflation is running wild. The US dollar is weakening, and the geopolitical tensions are higher than they've been in years. What does that mean for silver? It means you better pay attention to that support level. If $75 breaks, silver isn't just going to drop a little, it's going to crash. A real crash. And all those people who've been waiting for silver to go to the moon are going to be left holding the bag. Now let's talk about the why behind this support level. $75 isn't just a random figure, it's a level of demand. It's a line in the sand that separates the silver bulls from the bears. Above $75, the market feels safe. People buy. Traders jump in. But below it, confidence starts to erode. And once that confidence breaks down, you'll see panic selling. The market will shift from hope to desperation, and by then it might be too late to do anything about it. But here's the kicker. It doesn't have to be too late for you. You can still get ahead of this, but you've got to act now. You've got to see it before it happens, or else you're just another casualty in a market that doesn't care about your timing. Let's break it down even further. The average investor out there is stuck. They've been riding high on speculation, expecting silver to rise based on historical trends, without understanding that the world today isn't the same world as a few decades ago. The game has changed. Silver prices today are not driven by the same factors as before. Now it's about understanding the economic landscape. Now it's about knowing how global inflation and interest rates are going to affect demand for silver. But here's the thing. Most people still think it's a safe bet to hold silver just because it's precious. But precious metals don't work the way you think they do when things go sideways. So let's say silver drops below that critical $75 mark. What happens next? First, you're going to see a short-term panic. The media will report it, the experts will weigh in, and they'll all try to explain why silver isn't doing what it should be doing. The reality? They'll be playing catch-up, trying to explain the market conditions that you should have already understood. But here's where it gets real. This is where you'll start to feel that tightening in your chest, that moment of realization when you know you didn't act soon enough. What's at risk? Well, we're talking about a serious opportunity here. Let's put it in perspective. If silver holds above $75, you're in the clear for a potential rebound, but only if you're in position. If you're holding silver now, you're in a race against time. The market isn't going to wait for you to make up your mind. It's not going to wait for your comfort zone to catch up. Right now, you've got an opening. If you make your move and silver holds, you could see a rebound higher than most people expect. But if you're hesitating, if you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for that perfect moment, the market could shift and that moment could slip away faster than you realize. Now think about it. What's your plan? What are you doing about this critical support? Are you going to wait for the market to give you a sign, or are you going to make your own moves based on the knowledge you have right now? There's a reason why so many people never break out of their financial ruts. They wait. They hesitate. They look for the perfect setup and miss the boat entirely. Let me be clear, waiting is a decision. And sometimes that decision will cost you. And just when you think you have everything figured out, here's the cliffhanger. You see, this $75 mark, it's not just a level of support, it's a psychological trigger. It's the line that investors will use to either build momentum or panic. If it breaks, that panic could send the market into a tailspin. But if silver holds, then you're looking at something bigger than you realize, a major turning point. And that turning point could either make you a player in the market or leave you stuck on the sidelines. What are you going to do? All right, welcome back. You've been waiting, and now it's time to talk about what happens when that $75 support level is tested and whether silver can hold its ground or if we're staring down the barrel of a steep decline. But before we go deeper, let me remind you of something important. This is it. This is the make or break moment. Everything you've been waiting for, hoping for, planning for, it's all riding on this critical level. So let me lay it out for you. If $75 holds, we could be looking at a major shift in the silver market. But if it doesn't, well, that's when the real panic sets in. The reason why $75 is so pivotal is because above that price, silver is still in the game. The bulls are still in control and the market feels like it's recovering. But the moment silver falls below that support, you're going to see something that's hard to stomach. The kind of sell-off that happens when people realize the dream of a quick silver rally is nothing more than a mirage. The markets don't care about your hopes. They care about the hard truths of the economy. And right now, the economy is screaming at you. Things are unstable, and the silver market, like everything else, is feeling the pressure. Now let's get into the details. When silver falls below $75, there's no easy way to sugarcoat it. It's going to get ugly. And the reason why this is such a crucial tipping point is because silver doesn't have the same momentum it had in the past. The global economy is facing inflation, rising interest rates, and uncertainty in a way we haven't seen in years. Silver has traditionally been a hedge against inflation and a store of value in turbulent times, but if investors start to lose faith in the market, we could see silver prices spiral lower, and fast. You see, silver isn't just a safe haven anymore. It's a volatile commodity that's incredibly sensitive to market shifts. One day, it can be up, the next, it can be crashing down. And if $75 gets breached, we're talking about a potential free fall. And I'm not talking about a small dip, I mean a real plunge. This is the kind of thing that could wipe out your gains and put you in a position where you're asking yourself, why didn't I take action sooner? You can't afford to sit back and hope that silver bounces back. If it falls below that critical support, you'll be playing catch-up, struggling to make sense of why the market is reacting the way it is. By the time you realize what's happening, it might be too late to sell at a decent price. That's why the time to act is now. You need to prepare for every possibility, whether it's a recovery or a crash, and your strategy has to be bulletproof. Here's the thing, if you're already holding silver, you're probably already feeling the pressure. You might be thinking, I've already invested too much. If it drops below $75, am I screwed? The reality is, yes, it could hurt, but only if you let it. This is where being proactive matters. You need to have a clear exit strategy in place. Don't just sit there waiting for the market to magically turn around. If you've been holding silver for months or even years, your position should have been strategic. But if you've been hoping for the price to hit some magical number without a clear plan, now is the time to reevaluate your approach. Let me give you a real example. In 2011, silver hit an all-time high of $49.50, but then as quickly as it rose, it collapsed. That crash wasn't just a temporary setback, it was the result of an overinflated market. People panicked and silver dropped below $30 in a matter of months. That's what can happen when the market sentiment shifts quickly. But it wasn't just the price drop that hurt investors, it was the lack of preparation. The ones who suffered the most were the ones who didn't see it coming. This is your warning. It's a different scenario today, but the psychology of the market is the same. Investors are driven by fear, greed, and the need to protect their capital. If silver falls below $75, there's a very real possibility that people will panic and start dumping their holdings. And once that happens, it'll be hard to stop the slide. That's why understanding the market dynamics right now is critical. You can't afford to play catch-up. You need to act before the momentum shifts. But don't panic just yet. There's still hope. If silver manages to hold above $75, we could see the market stabilize. There could be a period of consolidation followed by a breakout to the upside. In this case, silver might rally back to new highs, but the key is holding that support. If $75 holds, it gives investors confidence to step in and buy, which could spark a rally. But remember, confidence is fragile. Once it's gone, it's hard to get back. And if silver fails to hold, you're going to see a chain reaction that's hard to undo. But here's the truth you need to face. Silver is only part of the story. The broader economy is what's driving the silver market today. Inflation is at a 40-year high, wages aren't keeping up, and people are struggling to make ends meet. More than ever, investors are turning to precious metals to hedge against uncertainty. But that doesn't mean silver will automatically succeed. In fact, many people are ignoring the risks and are relying on the hope that silver's long-term historical value will save them. But silver doesn't care about your hopes. It only cares about the economic conditions driving the market. And if those conditions sour, silver could be one of the first assets to feel the heat. Now, I'm going to level with you. This market is brutal. It's unpredictable. And if you've been holding on to silver without a clear strategy, you're putting yourself in a dangerous position. It's time to take a step back and reevaluate. What are you doing if silver falls below $75? What's your plan? You're either going to panic and regret it, or you're going to have a solid plan in place to ride out the storm. If you wait too long to make that decision, you could be left watching the market slip away without any control. Here's the kicker. This is just the beginning. Silver's recovery has been slow, but it's the next few months that will make or break the market. If $75 holds, you'll get your chance to buy in. But if it doesn't, brace yourself. The ride down could be fast and furious.